Okay.
Forgot about that. We're live on YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. And if you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead. Let's see here, about 4 minutes before the show starts. If you're watching it live, well, deal with it. Shaky Jakes yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we preconditioned and ultrasounded his cows, and I don't think he realizes how many cows he has. I said, Joe, how many do you have? He says, as many as the allotment tells me I do. I'm like, I think you better recount. But yeah, it was a long day.
How did percentage of opens, what did that look like compared to other years?
Let's see. On his cows, they ran, I think it was right around that 15. And his heifers were like 8. So it was actually pretty good. Yeah. But the thing that he didn't like is he had a majority of them were in the second cycle instead of the first. Like a big majority of them.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what exactly would cause that, but maybe heat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, I haven't done mine. I usually do mine in November, end of October, November. So I'll see what I got going on here. But Mike Wagner, good morning. I see you're filling in for Todd. Thank you, buddy. 3 minutes, stations, 3 minutes. Yeah. So I didn't think it was too bad, I guess, but I helped one person do their heifers, and they were 30% open. But they only left. Wow. But they only left the bull. They were AI'd, and they only left the bull in for 26 days.
Oh,
so that was kind of what was expected, I guess you could say.
That was a method of culling, the way it sounds to me.
Method of calving in like 20 days, be done.
Right.
Which a lot of people do, like Jay Berg and those guys. They do that with their entire herd. Bulls are out for 30 days, done. They pull the bulls, and if it's open, it's open. However, they usually only run about 8-9% open over there. So they're saving the fertile cows. Or fertility is a big thing for them.
Well, I was just going to say, it's when you cull that strict and you start doing that, you're only going to have the elite production in your herd. So
yeah. KGFX, good morning, Chuck Hansen. Appreciate you guys tuning in again this morning. Yeah, outdoors and agriculture. Waylon Turnus, good morning. From the deer blind at the farm. Nice. Got the little guy out there. Cool. Listening in the deer blind. This is going to call in more deer. Daryl, do your buck grunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See if that brings in deer. 60-second station. 60 seconds. One of these days, you should come down to the ranch and do the show with me here live.
I should.
Take the tour.
Is the elk season open right now?
Oh, yes. We'll be talking about that. Got a message here. Stations 30 seconds on mark. 30 seconds. All right, Daryl, I'm going to turn you down here. We're going to start here shortly. Stand by. Locked and loaded. 15-second stations. 15. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Heard all across the Dakota Territory, like stations like KFYR and Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB, and Minot. KLTC in Dickinson, KOLY in Mobridge, and KGFX in the capital city, Pierre, South Dakota. Good to have you along here this morning. And as always, brought to you by Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan. If you're looking for a Polaris Ranger, a General, or a Razor Sportsman, all the ATVs and side-by-sides, make sure to check out the Polaris Ag Advantage. They'll take 10% off any new ATV or side-by-side just by being in the farming ranching industry. Thanks, Action Motorsports, for always supporting the farming and ranching side of things. This morning, my guest is president of the Farm Bureau, Mr. Darrell Leese. Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
It sounds like I'm not doing so good. Like I said, it was a long day in the dirt and dust yesterday, ultrasounding. We started at 7 and we finished at right around 7. It was a long day. That's that time of season, though, right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that time of the year where you start doing those plague checks and some vaccinations, some pre-work on some calves, and some guys have got that done, and they're already into the weaning stages. You know, they did all that a few weeks ago, and so there's still decisions being made out there, Scott.
Oh boy, is there ever?
How many head are going to be kept, and how many you can keep, and is it feasible to keep them? Is it the smart thing to do? Spend $250, $300 a ton for hay and keep these critters around or not? I mean, it's
here's
some pretty important decisions yet.
Yeah, the question is, do you spend that much money on feed for the winter, and then if we have another dry winter and it looks like another dry year next year, there's going to be a huge flood of cattle into the market again. And, do you cut your losses this fall and take what you can get? Do you play the game and try to hold on? And there's moisture next year and your bred heifers are worth $3,000. Who knows, Darrell? Show me.
Yeah, it's a roll of dice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that more tenure in the business that say, don't think you can feed your way out of a drought.
That's smart. Yeah.
And, I think there's, if most everyone's making some sort of modifications to their numbers, and that's probably a smart thing. And if you can hang on to a base of your herd, that's probably.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Darrell here a little bit here. We'll get him back on the line as just out of nowhere. I think that maybe it's somebody's listening in and they don't want to find out what Darrell has to say. But we'll get him back on the air. Darrell, are you still there?
I'm here, yes.
There you go. You cut out there for a little bit. I'm sorry about that. So,
no.
I think the TSA is listening as I'm going to be flying here today, and they're already listening. Cutting you off here.
They're monitoring you already.
Monitoring, yeah. People are asking, how is this agriculture side of things and outdoors tied together? And for me, you can't have one without the other. And that's why I wanted to have you on here, especially, elk season opened up in my area. And I was contacted by many, many, many people in the last 6 days that it has opened. But nobody took the time to contact me 6 months ago or when they found out they got drawn for a tag. And that's one of the things, we're talking about culling your cow herd. I wonder how that's going to look at the hunting side of things when counties like Slope counties got burn bans on and the access is a little bit, I guess you could say, closed up here in certain areas that we want you to walk in instead of driving on those trails. What do you think, Darrell? Do you think how's that going to affect the hunting side of things this year, especially with the drought and what we have to do with the cattle this year and kind of be careful on our winter pastures?
Well, I think it's, obviously it's going to cut down on probably some success rates. If folks got to walk in further and they can't necessarily get to the, within a few hundred yards of where they want to be, it's obviously going to restrict some people's ability to go out there and harvest that elk
or deer or anything this fall, probably.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna change the game on a lot of stuff. It's going to change the game on, the upland birds. I mean, that are open right now. You got grouse and partridge season open, and I think some of that's going to change if you can't get to, that little knob out there that's 2.5, 3 miles away that you're just not willing to walk to, but you're going to see 2 grouse out there. But then you're going, well, if I don't see them 2 grouse on that little knob like I normally would, boy, that's a long walk for nothing. And, it's all going to play into it, obviously. And what I just hope doesn't happen is I hope that the sportsmen that live in, in a town, in a city, understand the reasoning for it.
Yeah.
The reason that there's a restricted access and a less points of travel, so to speak, because do you want that habitat destroyed by fire?
Exactly.
So that things this winter have a harder time surviving out there and making it through. And I don't think they want that. So they got to understand that not only are we protecting our pastures, our forages, but those same pastures and forages are what protects the wildlife throughout the winter also.
Absolutely. I had a young lady, a couple out of Hettinger. They messaged me earlier on, and they got in touch with me a little bit beforehand, and she drew a bull elk tag, man. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime tag in this area. And they came out, and I said, here's the thing about hunting, especially elk. If I see one, I will call you, but you need to be able to drop everything you're doing and come over and go hunt it. And lo and behold, the other morning, there we did. We saw one. I saw one in the morning, and you could hear him bugling right from the house already. And we got her on it, and she dropped everything. Her and her husband, he quit what he was doing at his job and came over, and we put a heck of a neat little stock on a nice big bull, and it didn't turn out quite as well as we wanted it to at sunset. We kind of ran out of light, but then I find out that she's like 2 months pregnant. And I made her hike, Daryl. I mean, this was nothing. She's a trooper, man. She went after this thing and sneaking in on the cactus and the yucca plants and everything. But it's just kind of a neat thing when you see people with that small town passion like that, and wanting to get in and actually understanding how, we don't mind if people hunt. We just got to walk from here, and it's a long ways. But hey, I just got a message, 48 degrees and a light breeze in Glick, Minnesota. Have you ever been there?
Glick? I've never been to Glick.
Have you ever, they have their own beer, Glick beer.
Well, what the heck? Yeah. Is it any good?
Well, you see, the last time I had it, I was pretty young, so I thought any beer at that time was pretty good. Now, I've been ruined by the taste of hams in Slope County. It's it's a staple.
Oh yeah, ruined by the taste of hams. I don't know that I've ever heard it explained that way, but
I have a finer palate and now with the hams in Slope County.
Oh well, it's so fine it don't exist anymore, evidently. But whatever. I mean, that's
it's alive and well, my friend. I have proof after yesterday. So yeah.
Well, you're probably one of them like everyone else, when they say, "What's your favorite beer?" and you say, "Well, free beer."
Yeah. Yep. Whatever you're buying and whatever you have in your cooler at this. Well, I say that, but there is one in Montana I just can't swallow, man. It's Rainier. They still make it in Montana, and it is a big thing when you go to Branding's over on that side, and I just can't do that one.
The only reason they have that at Brandon is so people go home and don't stay very long.
That's a fact. Well, stay with me. Daryl Leese is my guest here as we continue through the morning hours here on his beautiful Saturday morning across the Dakota Territory. Questions, comments, call in toll free 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. Ask us anything you need. Back after these messages all across.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods. the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Frenzel Family Farms land auction near Dickinson, North Dakota. This premier auction offers as much diversity, productivity, and opportunity as any land offered in Stark County in 2021. This auction features over 960 acres and 13 separate parcels, from 40-acre potential development sites to 140-acre tracts of cropland, hayland, pastureland, and the original farm headquarters. Join Piper's Auctioneers for the Frenzel Family Land Auction September 28th in Dickinson, North Dakota. Full details are available at pipers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Frenzel Family Farms land auction near Dickinson, North Dakota. This premier auction offers as much diversity, productivity, and opportunity as any land offered in Stark County in 2021. This auction features over 960 acres and 13 separate parcels, from 40-acre potential development sites to 140-acre tracts of cropland, hayland, pastureland, and the original farm headquarters. Join Piper's Auctioneers for the Frenzel Family Land Auction September 28th in Dickinson, North Dakota. Full details are available at pipers.com.
Settle down, and when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues across the Dakota Territory, around the world. If you haven't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. You can also watch, if you're listening to the show right now, you can also listen back to it again on the YouTube side, like Scott from Platte, South Dakota is doing here this morning. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate that. Daryl East with the Farm Bureau is my guest here this morning. And Daryl, you and I were talking about off the air, a little bit of private land ownership stuff here. Now, South Dakota has it pretty well figured out. Why can't, and Montana has it figured out, why can't North Dakota get on page with this? What's the deal?
Oh,
Are you tired of talking about this yet?
Well, and then so there's so many things. There's a little bit of lack of spine by lawmakers to do the right thing and protect their inherent private property rights. There is, and there's probably going to be some lawmakers up in arms now, but that's a fact.
Well, here's the thing. They can call in and explain their side of it at 888-932-5682. Please do so, because, that's why we have open lines here for today.
Right. And then you get, you get the North Dakota Game and Fish Department that is, their mission is to be stewards of the wildlife, quote unquote, for the public interest, quote unquote. But yet they fail to realize that without the partnership of those private landowners in North Dakota, there is no wildlife to be had. And they don't want to protect the people.
Yeah.
The best natural resource on the planet is the people. And the people's property is, should be a pretty sacred thing in folks' minds, especially in the United States of America, where it's a very basic founding principle. And the basis of our freedoms is private property.
Yeah.
And so, you get those guys that are going, oh, but we need, and let's analyze why they are so against changing a law that gives away our private property rights basically to people to enter.
Well, they said it's going to restrict hunting access.
Well, and why does, and I don't believe that, because I believe that there's a lot of folks out there that want things hunted and managed. We understand management of natural resources better than anybody, by the way, as agriculture folks. And so but what it is they're afraid if it does, they might lose a $25 license.
I see.
It's a follow the money thing. Plain and simple, follow the money. And heaven forbid if five of the 25 people that are saying, I'm going to quit hunting in North Dakota if you change this, actually do. They might lose $100 of revenue. And that's what it's all about, is most stuff you can follow the money, and that's the reason.
Yeah, that's with any organization, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you're impeding for your money and trampling on our private property rights, that's pretty wrong. And basically, the North Dakota law is a land takings without compensation, because they're telling people that unless we go out and monitor every corner, every half mile of unfenced, every gate of fenced, and monitor it and have a sign up, or now we've got to go on and do it electronically, which is that's another option, which I guess, okay, good. We've got another option to have to do something that we shouldn't do for inherent rights. But anyway, it's another option. So it maybe made things a little easier, which we have a goofy time frame of you got to do it by July 15th. Really? Why do you got to do it by July 15th? If it's electronic, shouldn't I be able to do it this week and have it effective by the weekend? I understand that you can't have someone go on at, 6 o'clock in the morning when people are, when
the season starts at 11. Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's have some reasonability there from our side too on that. But it still comes back to, let's just have the inherent right where government is not supposed to take land, or within that interpretation, not supposed to give the rights to others to enter private property without compensation, because that's a land takings in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So according to our Constitution, that's a land takings.
Yeah. So years ago, South Dakota did there was a fight in that Harding County area. And I don't remember it very well because I was a lot younger at that time. But anyway, do you remember, you know the story of this, don't you, Darryl, where pretty much every landowner in Harding County just closed it up. Like zero hunting, zero access, zero anything. And it was a kind of a fight with the Game and Fish on something or another. I can't remember, but they came to a reasoning pretty darn well. And I think they work well together after that. I think from what I know, and the ranchers and the farmers that I talk to, it seems like South Dakota Game and Fish and the private landowners and the farming and ranching side of things work pretty darn good together now. North Dakota tried to do something along that, try to close up property and limit access, but it's just tough to get everybody to jump on board with that. Why is it harder? I mean, South Dakota did it, snap of a finger. They all did it right away. And here we are twiddling our thumbs still to this day.
Well, and that's a good question, because the landowner, if they banded together and just said no to everybody, I think it would change in a hurry.
I agree.
But the fact of the matter is, it's sad that we even have to do that in a quote unquote conservative state that should believe in inherent private property rights, should believe. I mean, we've got a super majority in the legislature. This shouldn't be that hard. But our super majority doesn't consist of all conservatives, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. And if we're not willing to take a stand for private property rights, we really aren't willing to take a stand on anything.
Yep.
Because they are so basic to our freedoms, to our way of life, to who we are. And if we're not willing to protect that at all costs, what are we really willing to protect?
Well, I guess what I'd like to do is hear from some of the South Dakota landowners or the hunters and see, has it affected them? Has it really changed a whole lot that, everything is assumed posted? You have to ask permission. And that's what I want to know. 888-932-5682. If anybody wants to call in and say one way or has it affected? Is it just a thing that everybody just gets along with now? And not only that, but their state has some of the highest hunting dollars brought in from out of state hunters for pheasant and all that kind of stuff. So it can't be that bad, Daryl. I mean, they have some of the best hunting economy in the nation.
So now you open up a whole other can of worms, because see, we have a lot of folks in our state that want to restrict non-resident hunting. They don't think it should happen because that's ours. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. You want to tramp on our land without responsibility, but then you want to restrict us in the ability to be able to, have dollars come in from out of state to these small communities for the very thing that you say that you can tramp on our land for, but you don't want us diversifying our dollars and our small businesses there. And then they're going to go, well, yeah, but you want to, by restricting access, you're going to restrict those small businesses too. And I'm like, show me any other state where they've had a huge decline in their revenues when they've implemented these things.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened.
Exactly. Got a text message come in. It says Harding County residents still have their you-know-what attached.
There you go.
That's just a tough area down there, man. I mean, just all together. I mean, the guys are tough. The girls are tough. It's just a fun area. Actually, I'll be traveling through there here today. So stop in and see some of the.
You have to be tough to live in that area. Come on, man. Have you looked at that area? I love it. I love going through there. I love this, seeing the countryside there. But you've got to be tough to survive in Harding County area. Let's be honest about it. There's great people down there, and I think it's. And there's the thing. It's in your ringing now.
Well, they don't understand. They got to call into the toll free. No, you can't call my cell phone number and be able to get on the radio here. But anyway, we're up against a break here. Daryl, stay with us here. Daryl Lease is my guest here. Feel free to call in on the toll-free number, 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. And you're automatically going to be put on hold here because I am my own producer. And we'll get to your calls as it goes on. But it would be nice to hear from folks down in that South Dakota side. See what happens. More coming up after these messages.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Frenzel Family Farms land auction near Dickinson, North Dakota. This premier auction offers as much diversity, productivity, and opportunity as any land offered in Stark County in 2021. This auction features over 960 acres and 13 separate parcels, from 40-acre potential development sites to 140-acre tracts of cropland, hayland, pastureland, and the original farm headquarters. Join Piper's Auctioneers for the Frenzel Family Land Auction September 28th in Dickinson, North Dakota. Full details are available at pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to the Frenzel Family Farms land auction near Dickinson, North Dakota. This premier auction offers as much diversity, productivity, and opportunity as any land offered in Stark County in 2021. This auction features over 960 acres and 13 separate parcels, from 40-acre potential development sites to 140-acre tracts of cropland, hayland, pastureland, and the original farm headquarters. Join Piper's Auctioneers for the Frenzel Family Land Auction September 28th in Dickinson, North Dakota. Full details are available at pifers.com.
Don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. All across the Dakota Territory on great stations like KGFX in Pierre, KOLY in Mobridge, K-Fire 550 in Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and KLTC in Dickinson. And intro music right there from Breaking 8, Mr. Benny Paulson. Daryl, do you know Benny?
I know Benny very well, yeah.
A lot of people know this guy. Now, here's the thing. I was at the Cowboy Hall of Fame Golf Scramble, and he was on a team. We were playing side by side. The dude can crush a golf ball, man. He can sing, he can play guitar, he can play bass, he can play drums, he can ride bulls. He teaches how to ride bulls, and yet he can still crush a golf ball. I think all this talent in one person, he should at least spread it around a little bit.
Well, or is this another problem? Is that all he does is goof around?
Well, if that's goofing around, I'd do the. he just texts. He says, "Hey, I'm listening to you guys, so be nice."
That's why I said it, because I figured he'd be listening.
I'm sitting there. I'm going through my golf bag the other day, getting my pickup cleaned out, and there's a broken golf club in there. And then I went back through my phone and started going through the videos, and one of the guys on his team was just a monster, man. This guy was huge, and I think it was his club. I'm pretty sure. But yeah.
Well, and give Benny a little credit. He does feed 1 or 2 cows also. So,
oh yeah, he does.
Yeah,
this guy's talented, man. It was fun. I asked Rick Thompson, I'm like, could I golf next to his team? And he made it work, so that was nice. It was fun to do that. We had such a good time. You know, you run across some of these guys once in a while in your life, Daryl, that it's just like, I can't wait till next year. You know, just put together a team and have fun like that. And granted, you know, we stole one of the rodeo queens to help finish out our team because we were short one person, and so we stole her, and our other team member, he sat back and all he did was bet on everybody's golf swing. That's it. I think he did pretty well too. So, all right, let's get back on here. Let's finish up here talking about private property. Actually, the call that it was that somebody called me on my cell phone here was about that actually. So I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. They left me a voicemail, but anyway, back to private property rights. You said you needed to add something in there.
Well, and so I think, you know, it would be good, Scott, if, you know, let's get the perspective of the Game and Fish again, and why they're so against private property rights. We got a new director. That's right. Yeah. And why wouldn't we ask Jeb Williams, what do you have against private property rights? Why don't you want to protect and inherit this great American tradition from the beginning of our foundation, and get him on and tell the listeners why they don't want to protect these private property rights? Yep. Because, I mean, what if something happens like in South Dakota where they shut down a whole county, but it's even larger in North Dakota, and all of a sudden they sell all these licenses and all these people are mad because they didn't have access anywhere. And do they want to deal with that? Because you push people far enough, eventually it will happen. Yeah. And so why isn't there coming to the table and doing something like South Dakota or Montana does, or and allow some of this inherent private property rights to be truly protected? I'd like to hear his take publicly on that.
I'm going to say the other side of this, Daryl. I don't believe there's going to be enough private property owners that'll stand together and do this. And here's my reasoning why. Is there's still, how would you say it? I mean, they're still going to want their family, and they're still going to have their friends come out and do it. I mean, and that's the thing, is you need to stop all of it. No family, no friends, no nothing is going to come on my property, because those are the people that are going to go back and say, wait a minute, we've been coming out for 40 years. And because of this one thing, now let's get involved and help support it. But I don't think you're going to get that support from every farmer and rancher out here. Or let's say landowners altogether, because more and more land is now being owned by, our next door neighbor here. He's out in Great Falls, Montana, and just lets anybody hunt it. I mean, he makes a lot of money off of his land by hunting. So I just don't think there's going to be like the Harding County thing. I don't think people are going to gather together like that.
Well, but then let's take that, what you just said there. If that's a natural restriction, if you start charging access fees, or you start charging gun fees, or you start, so if you have a combination of more of that and a combination of just, nope, get out of here, we don't want to see you on here, those things could add up fast. In a work together deal, that might be the push that has to come to happen. And I agree, it's going to be tough, because I want to take care of my buddy that lives over there and doesn't have an opportunity. But you know what? Sometimes you got to tell your buddy, make a phone call on our behalf.
Exactly. Yeah.
Call your legislator and say, I just got shut out after our family has enjoyed for 50 years, and thanks to your inaction. That's the kind of things that need to happen.
I agree. I hope I see it. I just don't think it'll happen. I can't quite see all the non-resident landowners around here, because they come back and they hunt. I mean, that's their big thing. They bird hunt and they make money off of it too. Whether it's in CRP or whether it's in PLOTS program or walk-in program in South Dakota, whatever they call it, that there's they don't want to. It's kind of they don't want us to make money on hunting. That's what somebody told me about my radio program. They said, Scott, we don't like you're making money off talking about hunting, but yet my neighbor's making all kinds of money because of hunting.
Okay, let's tell Steve Shield he should give away everything in his stores then because he's making money off of hunting.
Yeah.
What kind of moronic statement is that? I mean, come on, people. We don't like it because you're making money off of hunting.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? What about Browning, Remington, Federal, PMC, Hornady? I mean, let's just go down the line. Winchester. I mean, nobody makes money off of hunting, I guess.
I'll tell you. I'll show you what I make off of this radio program, and then they're going to be like sad about it. They're going to be like, "Oh, there's a reason I do this. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy maybe stirring the pot a little bit once in a while. But this is one of the very few times, across North and South Dakota that people can get on and talk about anything they want here and be okay to do this and have a conversation about it. We don't always agree, you and I, but we can at least have a conversation about it and maybe try to sway some other people. There's nothing wrong with that. So,
no.
Have you been hunting this year? Bird season's open. I should say the grouse and partridge season. Oh my gosh, there's a blast from the past. Holy moly.
I have not been hunting yet. Well, let's put it this way. We did a pretty good job of eradicating some gophers this summer, and it's but other than that, I have not been out in pursuit of any in my book edible game. I mean, I'm sure that you can eat gopher. I just never have done it, but so
do it.
Maybe they're good on a spit. I don't know.
Maybe
but
shish kebab. Going back here, I got a text. Would it pay to collect a list of names of landowners wanting to protect property rights and present it to the legislature next go around? Is that feasible? To
collect the signatures of who? The property owners or hunters?
Yeah, of landowners wanting to protect their property rights and then present it to the legislature.
Well, here's the thing. You have every ag group, and ours has led this charge many times. So you got NDFB, you got Stockman, you got Farmers Union that even agrees. We actually agree in this policy between the two general farm organizations. You have IBAN, you have grain growers, you have all these groups of farm-oriented groups that represent landowners by the masses, and we bring people in there, and having a list of people that signed it, they're going to ignore that even more than those that actually show up to the Capitol, because they ignore those that actually show up. So it's really easy to ignore another piece of paper that they can just lay on the side.
True.
What we need is the things that we talked about. We need the person that wants to be able to keep hunting and wants to maintain landowner relationships and wants to maintain the integrity of our constitutional rights from a sportsman standpoint, saying, do something to make sure you're protecting these private property rights, because they raise and care for more wildlife in North Dakota than Game and Fish, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, any wildlife organization can dream to do, because they're out there doing it. That's what we need to happen.
Another text comes in and says, spicy topic today, Scott. Be careful, because hunting is becoming the rich man's sport. I don't want to see egg producers competing for land with rich city people. Well, we already are. That's been going on for a long time. And the internet has definitely increased the options for people being able to bid and do that. But we're already doing that. It's tough. I'll tell you this right now. You guys got to call in on the regular, on my 888 number, 888-932-5682. So there we go. Now they're calling in on this one here. Should we take it, Daryl?
Let's take it.
You bet. Let's go here. It's a 605 South Dakota number. What's your first name?
James.
James, what's on your mind today?
Well, what I find over time is the guys that they were talking about that come in and buy the land that aren't ag owners
Yep.
or farmers, they're the ones that don't let you hunt once they buy that land. But they always wanted to let them hunt on your land. But when they get it, they don't let no one hunt.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So-
see a lot of that too in this area as well.
But they put
Yeah,
a lot of
they're the
effort
first ones
into it, but
upset
they
when they
still
get
don't let
told
no
no.
one hunt.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to say is we always come to North Dakota grouse hunting, but now we don't come because all of our land that we hunt is posted. Before they would just post it before pheasant season or deer season,
Right.
and then we could sneak up there and it wasn't the $25 that we left. It was gas money, it was food money, it was money having dinner, it was everything that we left up there. But no one wants to come anymore because everything's posted. Before they would just post it like right before pheasant season, so that opened it up to grouse hunting the whole time.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? The bottom line is, if you want to go hunting, you have to go out there at the right time and ask the landowner the right time and not take advantage of them and say, hey, can I hunt one weekend or one day this year? And then move over maybe to another part of the state and hunt. Move over to another part and hunt. You know, don't expect the guys to let you hunt every day.
Yeah. And that's what you
But
you
no.
said you said a lot right there, going out ahead of time and making those relationships before the opening day too.
I stopped the other day, asked the guy to deer hunt, but he was in this pen sorting his cattle. So I just waved at him and said, hey, I'm going to go. Went down the road and found another guy who was just happy to let me hunt.
I just got a text here. It says, just talk to the landowner. Sometimes that's all
Just
it takes
talk
is
to
go
him
in
at
there
the
and
right
talk to
time
him.
and say,
Yeah.
is there a certain time of year or this season that I could come out here and hunt? You know, sometimes there's maybe I can come after everybody's done, or maybe come on with, but you have to go and put some effort into it.
Well, I appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
You bet.
Thanks.
You bet. Let's go to another caller right here. Let's go to a 701 number here. Sorry for ringing so much here. My auto hold here system is turned off, so I got to just let it ring here. What's your first name?
That's all right. This is Wayne.
Hey,
Scott.
Wayne.
How you doing?
Good. Yeah, you got my number right this time.
Yeah. I called the wrong one before.
That's all
But
right.
just wanted to throw something out to you guys. You know, you're talking about landowner, hunter, game and fish relationships, and I think that's got to be a collaborative effort. What is your thoughts on the block management, which really would do that for everybody? It would help the landowners, help the hunters. Game and Fish would have some control over it. Is that an option that would be taken to the table when you're negotiating these landowner rights?
So block management is, as much as I know about this, because I don't know a lot about it, in Montana, is a portion. It's kind of like the plots line where you pull up, you sign in, and only so many are allowed to be on that block at one time. Is that right, Wayne, or am I off a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
I
there
think
may
it's
be
a
limit
great
to
idea.
how many are on there?
I think it's a great idea, especially for the plots land or any walk-in land. Daryl, your take on it?
Well, I think if folks are willing to participate in it, I don't see any problem with it. If because then it's a managed access. It's a respect to the private property rights, because people are willingly engaging in this group management, so to speak, of their property for hunting access. I mean, I utilize it. I hunted mule deer out by Malta in Montana some years ago, but we also hunted private land too. And we went and visited with the ranchers and had a conversation. And we caught them at a time when maybe they were pulling into their yard from checking cattle or something. We didn't go bug them when they were busy, just as that previous caller had said. So, there's opportunity out there, and there's folks that participate in it out there, and there's folks that don't. And if you want to participate in something like that, I think it would be an all right deal. I mean, let's put all options on the table, but let's protect the private property rights from the get-go.
Right. Text message comes in, says a lot of people are buying land just for hunting, so why would they let a bunch of other people hunt on it? Which is, you're seeing a lot of that too. Wayne and Daryl, both of you guys are seeing that across especially the western side of the state, North and South Dakota. There's a lot of property being bought up by non-residents that all they want to use it for is hunting and a little getaway type of thing.
Yep. And those are the landowners that are very difficult to get a hold of, to even
Absolutely.
ask for access when they're not in the area. So it's kind of a sore spot, I think, to a lot of people, because the non-residents are kind of controlling some of our hunting access here, and that sometimes doesn't sit well. So then that has a tendency to give all landowners kind of a bad taste in hunters' mouths. But I think we have to make sure that we're weighing the differences there and seeing where it's at. And I think block management would be a good point. At least get some of it. It's walking access only, a lot of that stuff. So it'd be good.
I think I have a hard time calling it public land. I think the Forest Service land should be a block management style. And I know a lot of people are probably going to get mad when I say this, but the reason I say it is, we have some north of us. Well, we're surrounded by a lot of federal ground around here. And there's some people, especially during rifle deer season, that'll go up and it's not a short drive when they get all the way up there, especially this year if they're going to have to walk it. By the time they get up there and they realize there's 25 other people already hunting the same section of land. And then they turn around and they're mad because, if you had checked in and say, oh, well, there's this many people already up there, I'm not going to waste 2 hours of my hunting day to go up there and see 25 other people chasing deer around. So that's my take on it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. It would be good to do that. At least you'd know who's on it and how many people.
Right. I don't know. Well, appreciate it, Wayne. Thanks for the call in and your take on things. You have yourself a good day and enjoy your Saturday.
Yep, you too, Scott. Thanks.
You bet. Appreciate it. And the reason we're getting closer and closer to the shutdown of the show here, Daryl, and I got to put my mask on and get on an airplane and take off.
Well, good for you.
But here's a lot of people are arguing at this mask. Just, we, as a bow hunter, a lot of times, especially during tick season, we wear masks. We're always covering our face, but that's mostly because I'm ugly.
Well, you got a point. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. But
Thanks a lot, there.
I never argue with anyone when they're just honest about themselves.
Well, people agree with me on YouTube anyway. There's some of the comments I get after the show that are written on there. It's like, there's some mean keyboard warriors out there, my friend. Holy cow. So.
Well, and but here's the thing: it's you're to be forced to wear masks because you think that you're going to prevent something.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about this, Scott. Then the next time you're out there and you're standing, you're masked up because you want as much camouflage as possible, less shine possibility, whatever. How many times are you fiddling with that mask with your hands, and it's up and down and it's around and it's sideways, and even though you're supposed to be still out there, just the next time you do that, you're going to go, holy cow, that was like 10 times in the last 2 minutes I just messed with my mask. Well, you're touching everything. I mean, to think that we're mandating, because here's the thing, I truly believe that this is a way that we make everyone the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a mask on, everyone's the same. And, you take away identity, you take away, facial expressions, you take away, I mean, it's just, to me, it's just plain ridiculous, because if masks worked, and how we went on this, I don't know, but because if masks worked,
we're up against the guy, so make it short.
We wouldn't have had 70-80% infection rates in nursing homes last year when they had a mask mandate from the very get-go on this thing.
Yeah.
There's proof. There's practical proof it don't work.
Daryl, thank you for coming on the program. If you want more information, go to DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Have yourself a great weekend and eat some meat, drink some and pork. Don't forget about that. Thanks for tuning in today. All right, stations, thank you. We're clear out of there. Daryl, thanks again, man. Sorry to cut you off there.
You bet. Not a problem.
I appreciate it. The short notice, man. I was just, the week got away from me, and some people were asking questions last night, and I wanted to get some of this stuff out on the radio again here. I don't want people to forget about